Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast for the new year. Yeah, come on, I've been here for an entire year already. Welcome to the first episode for 2018. Fact to be, it's January 6th, 2018. Wow, 2017's gone and we're into 2018 already. Holy crap, it's been a long time coming. I'm Andrew Rhodes, and I will be your host for the next hour or so. Hopefully, if I can stretch this long enough, I'll explain. For the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. And this week, I'm going to be talking about Anime Strike getting shut down by Amazon. The Animaniacs are getting revived by Hulu. Oh boy. That's kind of interesting, but I'll explain. The big Shaman King announcement. Ooh. I'll explain what that was. Remember, I talked about this last week, that they were having an announcement on January 1st. And now we know what the announcement was. And in all honesty, it wasn't that epic. I'm sorry. It wasn't. I'll also be discussing some really interesting things that happened during the week, like something that happened between my mom and I. And once again, back by popular demand, and mostly because I need filler, I'll be doing a Weird Things My Mom Says. Yes, that's right. My mom pretty much walked right into this one. I'm sorry, Mom, but you kind of did. But all that, maybe more, maybe a nice little, side order of fries, you never know, all this week on the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. But before we get started with that, you know the deal, folks. Come on, you got some holiday cash you want to burn, gift cards for eBay that you want to get rid of. Well, I'm your person to spend that dough on. I got collectibles, I got oddities, I got weird stuff. I got a whole plethora of crap just waiting for you to take it home and call it your own. Or you can just admire it. That's fine by me too. Just so long as at least people know I exist out there on eBay. That's all I care about. Yes, I am in the process of trying to get new stuff up, so it's not 100% all new stuff. It's still some stuff that I had up for the last couple months. I am working on getting some new stuff up. That I can swear to you. I am working on it. It is just taking a little longer than I wanted to for certain reasons. But, seriously though, check out ARhodes-2012 on eBay for all your oddities and collectible needs. That's ARHOADS-2012. You can also follow me on Twitter at OtakuRhodes. So how did my week go? Well, actually quite entertaining until I had to go to work. This week, I was only supposed to work 2 days. Yes, a wonderful 2 days. In all honesty, it's only a part-time job, so that's all it is. I ended up getting, I want to say suckered. I know it's not really the right words to say, but it kind of is. I got suckered into working on Friday, which was yesterday. So, yeah, there was that, and I had to go in today. I was scheduled for this morning, which is some of the reasons why certain things weren't done this week, podcast-wise. Namely, I didn't get a chance to look up a lot of topics. Well, that, and apparently my laptop, or my mom's laptop, and our desktop decided, hey, we're going to go through the update process for 1709 Windows. Gotta love Microsoft finding newer and newer ways of screwing over us poor people. One day, though. But anyway, so I didn't get a tremendous amount of topics this week, so for that I do apologize again. It was not my fault. Sadly, though, I shouldn't really say sadly. I'm going to try better for next week. I do have a couple days that I'm not working next week. That fall before Saturday, so hopefully I can track down some topics beforehand, unless it snows or something, I end up getting an extra day off, which, hey, you never know, it's winter time. I survived the subarctic minus 13 degree temperatures the last 2 mornings, as I stand outside waiting for my supervisor to show up to unlock the door. Yep, it wouldn't be so bad if I actually had a nice thick coat that I could wear to work. but I have no place to put it at work, and then I pretty much have to keep it on me. And yeah, I'll end up getting a little too toasty. So I have to wear a very thin jacket and a vest. Yep, and a nice little beanie hat. Yep. That's pretty much my outfit that I have to wear to work because I have nowhere to put it at work. So that's kind of fun. But anyway, so like I said, you never know. Might get an extra day off because of the weather. I mean, it could snow just like that. You never know. But anyway, hope everybody's staying warm if you are in any part of the frigid climate. I'm on the eastern seaboard of the United States, and I constantly have been freezing the last few days. So I had that going for me. But mostly just standard stuff. Playing Contest of Champions. Oh, update for everybody for last week. Might as well do that in my how my week went thing. Since I slept in on New Year's, hey, it's one time a year I can actually sleep in. I don't have to get up and do anything. I can go to sleep early since I don't have cable. I don't have to watch the ball drop in New York. I missed it 1 year years ago because I got sick, and I'm like, you know what? I missed it. There's no point now in watching it anymore because I missed it the 1 year. It's like, now I've lost interest in it. Which is fine. I mean, I know I could pull it up on YouTube and that, but it's not worth it anymore. But anyway, last week I was talking about Naruto X Boruto, or as it's called, Naruto Cross Boruto, Ninja Voltage, and I was saying about how it was one of the things that I enjoyed about it was the gameplay and all that, and one of the things that was pissing me off was the size of it. Well, I no longer have it installed on my tablet. The reason for that, very simple, 4.3. That's how much gigabyte in space it was taking. 4.3 gigabytes of space. And at that point, I'm like, screw it. On top of that, it started crashing like crazy. It started going really slow. And I mean, in all honesty, now, at first I thought it might have been my network. But if I can go on to Contest of Champions, or I can go into Puzzles and Dragons, or I can go into Digimon Links, or I can even watch a YouTube video in high def and not have an app crash, glitch, or something else, then it's the app, not my tablet or my connection. So I'm like, you know what? That was the final nail in the coffin as far as I was concerned. On top of that, they really screw you on those pulls. Because the whole deal with it is how you power up the characters is you got to get the ninja cards that basically give them attacks or just boost their attributes and their skills. You cannot get a decent card for some of the main characters to save your life. You're getting cards for the side characters, the ones that aren't that popular, but you're not getting enough of them to warrant building up the strength to make them a contender to take on your opponents. On top of that, you have the stupid fortress battles, or the attack missions, which everybody that had like 400,000 of the coins could easily just get the final and most powerful fortress and literally just have that as their fortress. And that's it. It has the Nine-Tailed Fox in it. It's got level 20 characters and level 10 characters. And then, you know, like the next 4 strongest ninja that you have after the 4 that you put in as the final, defense. In all honesty, like I said, it's a good game, but it has too many problems anymore for it to warrant me even holding it. And the size of it was just... the size of it was already what was tipping the iceberg, as far as I was concerned with this, but it was just a goner. So that's what kind of sucks. I had to delete that on New Year's Day. But I've been getting into Puzzles and Dragons, scored a new creature. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I have it as my main creature, though I might change that again. Just evolved my very first creature to its final ultimate form. It actually matches one that my one fan had when they suggested I try the game out, and then I found them on the game. It's really cool. It's because I got the little fire dragon. It's not what its name was. It was something else. I can't think what the name was. And I just evolved it down the line. And I finally this morning, ironically, I got the final thing I needed to perform the ultimate evolution. I could have did it one of 2 different ways with it. I could have went and made like a pixeled version, the version that I took, or, well, at the time I couldn't do that, or I could have just went for its final pure fire evolutions. Like, no, I want the fire water type one, because that looks pretty badass. And I have that now. I got a pretty good cast of characters. I'm enjoying the King of Fighters. I should say I enjoyed the King of Fighters event that they had going on. That was pretty cool. Kind of pissed I couldn't get my hands on Terry Bogard, though. I mean, you can get the hat, but you can't get the character, apparently. Which kind of pisses me off, because now I have enhanced material that I can't use. Or it's really worthless and just taking up space, which pisses me off. But anyway, that's how my week went. Besides the freezing cold, we had snow. What day was that? That was Thursday, I believe. We had snow. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes, I believe it was Thursday. We had snow Thursday, I believe. Yes. Yeah. So it's like it snowed earlier it snowed this week. Let's put it this way. It snowed this week. It's been cold this week. My favorite convenience store had their pipes freeze. The road right outside of them is down for construction, so we have to take a side street to get to them now. It's been an epic week, depending on what part of my life you want to talk about. If you want to talk about stuff that I do that you don't see, it's been an epic week. If you want to talk about stuff related to the podcast, it's been a boring week. It depends on how you foresee how everything goes. But otherwise, that's my week in a nutshell. It's been an interesting one, definitely. But when one week ends, another week begins, and with that, hopefully this coming week will be a lot more fun. I know you can't see this, but I got my fingers crossed on that. Hopefully it'll be fun. But anyway, let's get into the podcast and let's get this started, shall we? Alright, so back in the day, I used to watch Animaniacs like crazy. I loved the show. It was on every afternoon when I got home from school. It was on, I think I started watching it before I even went to school. Or, yeah, I mean, like, literally before I started going to school. Not like, oh, you watched it early in the morning. No, I mean, like, the year before I started watching school, before I started going to school, I think it was on in the afternoon. So I was watching it. It was always on the WB with their afternoon programming lineup. Though I swear, though, it was on Fox once, but I can't be sure of it. Like, I don't know if they just, like, stole it for a week or something. I don't know. But anyway, Hulu has revived Animaniacs with a 2-season order. Now, this is really cool, and this is interesting because I found out about this courtesy of Twitter. Twitter. Savior of my week at this point. I'll explain. Well, I've already explained it. No, I can still explain it again. I was searching on Twitter, just screwing around, and this was in the news feed, and I'm like, Animaniacs were revived. So it's the 1990s cartoon staple. It's getting a 2-season revival order courtesy of Steven Spielberg's Amblin Television and Warner Brothers Animation. You know, Warner Brothers, the people that want to be Disney, basically. Oh, we want to have that wholesome Disney love, but we don't have the bank account to back that up. I mean, let's face it, you guys took a bath. The Warner Brothers Corporation, the WB, took a bath on the DC movies. You do not have the bankroll to put up with Disney. Disney can pretty much just come in, flip you the bird, and call it a day. Which they do, ironically. But I digress. So the revival was picked up straight to series for Hulu. Hulu. A channel and a site that I will never watch so long as I live. It makes no sense to me. I mean, half the stuff that's on Hulu, you can find clips of, or somebody, archived the footage and popped it up on YouTube, and you just watch it before YouTube catches it. In all honesty, that's what it is. It is what it is. The deal also includes an agreement for Hulu to exclusively stream the entire Animaniacs back catalog. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's actually not a good thing, but at the same time, it's not a bad thing. It includes various spin-off series like Pinky and the Brain, Pinky, Elmira, Pinky, Elmira, and the Brain, and the related Tiny Toon Adventures. And honestly, I would not mind if Tiny Toon Adventures would get a remake or even a revival. The one that always sticks in my mind, my grandfather and I watched it long time ago. I'm not joking. Long time ago. Water Go Down the Hole with Plucky the Duck as a baby. And he's just like trying to use the bathroom for the first time, and he's like flushing the toilet paper down, the soap down, just drops everything into the toilet. It's funny, and we were laughing. I mean, I was like, I had to have been like 5 or 7, like under 10. I was under 10. I was over 3 and under 10. And I'm watching this with him, and we're laughing hysterically. My mom's trying to figure out my mom and grandmother are like, why are they laughing so much? And we were just having a ball watching this duck just flushing everything, going, water go down the hole, ducky go down the hole, soap go down the hole, paper go down the hole. That's all it was. And it was just so funny. So that would be a cool one to get. Pinky and the Brain was always interesting to me. You know, they're Pinky and the Brain. That was always fun. What always threw me about that is I never knew if he actually did it or not, and judging for the timing, I don't think he did. And I'm pretty sure he didn't. But people were constantly saying that Orson Welles did the voice of Brain. I don't believe he did. I can try to pull it up, but I'm having slow as crap internet connection tonight for some reason. But I'll pull it up, and while it pulls up, I'll keep going. So you have that show. Pinky, Elmira, and the Brain is not a show that I would ever recommend anyone seeing. Personally, it's basically Pinky and the Brain, but they threw Elmira in from Tiny Toon Adventures, and it threw a monkey wrench in the whole thing. But Animaniacs is definitely one that I could get behind for multiple reasons, because it's a good show. I mean, I talked about it a long time ago with Yakko Does the World. That's how I learned, well, The Nations of the World, presented by Yakko Warner. Then you had, oh god, what was it? There was a Wacko Does the 50 States. Recently, like, earlier last year, ironically, I found a song that they did called, I don't know what to say the monkeys won't do. I thought it was kind of cool. But yeah, so them getting this, though, for Hulu is a little... I'm just going to come right out and say it. It's a 2-season revival. So that's, first off, you're getting 2 seasons of Animaniacs. That's fine. I can't say beyond a shadow of a doubt if it's a good thing that Hulu has it. Because let's face it, Hulu's trying to become the next Netflix, but they're doing it the right way. They're doing it slowly, whereas Netflix just keeps throwing crap out at everybody. And that's what's scary to me. But they were quoted, at least somebody was quoted, as saying, "We cannot wait to work with Steven Spielberg and the entire Amblin and Warner Brothers teams to bring more sketches, catchphrases, songs, and laughs from the Animaniacs to kids and adults everywhere." Said Craig Erwich, SVP of Content, Hulu, in a statement. Quoting again, "Now one of the most beloved, inventive, and funny animated franchises in history, Animaniacs, and its cast of witty characters can live on Hulu. This marks yet another big move for us as we continue our efforts to be the #1 streaming destination for premium animated content." Hate to break it to you people, but it could live on YouTube, which is where it's been living for the last 10 years. No, I'm serious. In 2007, and I'm going from like last year, because 2008 I was up in tech school. Like end of 2000, June of 2007, I was already in tech school. But in 2007, I know for a fact, The Nations of the World, brought to you by Yakko Warner, was on YouTube. You can find the Animaniacs sketches on YouTube, whichever ones Warner Brothers didn't block on a copyright infringement. But yeah, I agree. It's, the Animaniacs coming back, that's a good thing. So, for those of you that don't know, the Animaniacs are basically Yakko, Wakko, and Dot Warner. The Warner Brothers and the Warner sister, basically. They live inside the water tower on the Warner movie lot, and nobody wants them to escape. That's the problem. They want them to stay up there and never come out. I personally love the show, and I always will. So, that's the whole premise of it. I mean, they say it in the opening theme song, which, by the way, just Google or even YouTube Animaniacs opening. You'll get it. It's really cool. They explain the whole concept of the show. So they go, I am so pleased and proud that Animaniacs will have a home at Hulu, said executive producer Steven Spielberg. Sell out. Together with Warner Brothers, we look to bring new audiences and longtime fans into this wild world of Yakko, Wakko, and Dot. I am also excited that the full library of Animaniacs and Tiny Toon Adventures episodes are included in the deal. So I'm just wondering, how big of a dump truck did they back up to your front step there, Spielberg? So Yakko, Wakko, and Dot have been waiting impatiently inside the water tower, and now their hilarious brand of animated chaos will be unleashed again. We're incredibly excited to be partnering with Amblin and Hulu for new episodes of Animaniacs filled with endless laughs and ongoing plots for world domination by Pinky and the Brain, said Sam Register, president of Warner Brothers Animation and Warner Digital Series. Parents who grew up with the cartoon now have new episodes to share with their own families. Or you could just watch it on YouTube and share it with your kids that way, because that's how 90% of stuff is watched anymore. New episodes of Animaniacs will premiere in 2020, while the back catalog is available for streaming now on Hulu. So for those of you that want to watch Animaniacs and you have a Hulu account and you have access to Hulu, check out Animaniacs. The whole back catalog's available. For those of you that are looking for the new episodes, you have to wait 2 more years, because that's when Yakko, Wakko, and Dot will come back. Now, if only they could have found a way to have revived Freakazoid and threw him into the deal, I would have gotten behind this. But don't get me wrong, like I said, I have no issue with Yakko, Wakko, and Dot. I have no issue with the Animaniacs. I have no issue with this stuff, period. What bothers me is people that constantly think that Hulu is, the go-to end-all be-all, and that everything on Hulu is the world's greatest. Everything that's on Hulu is literally on other sites. Like I said, YouTube, hundreds of sites. You could probably find these on Daily Motion, for crying out loud. If not, probably some DVD seasons might exist somewhere on the internet that you can buy, like eBay or Amazon. Amazon Prime may even have some old episodes for all I know. I mean, hell, it's just a matter of just spending the time and looking for it. But people just don't want to do that when it comes to this stuff because, well, it's too much time and effort, blah, 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 and all that fun stuff. But, like I said, it would have been cool if they could have found a way to, chuck Freakazoid back into this deal and revive Freakazoid, or at least put Freakazoid on Hulu. I don't even know if it's on Hulu. Like I said, I don't watch Hulu. I don't want anything to do with Hulu. And that's really how I lasted on this. And yeah. Okay, so in answer to my other question, did he do the voice of Pinky? I'm looking it up right now. Now, he died in 85. So, in fact, hold on, I can tell you. Okay, he died on October 10th, 1985 at the age of 70. His resting place is in Ronda, Spain, and by the way, that's Orson Welles that I'm talking about here, in case you're wondering. So, yeah, here we go. Let's see here. He was 70 when he died. Let's see here. Thank you, Wikipedia, by the way, for having such a wonderful layout that I can easily just scroll right down to find what I'm looking for here. Da-da-da-da-da. No. And in case anybody out there is wondering, Orson Welles was the one that did that War of the Worlds broadcast way, way back. If you ever get a chance, look that up. That really is worth checking out. Not the Tom Cruise movie, the actual radio broadcast. Oh, come on, seriously? I mean, I know he did, I just figured out an easier way to do this. I just figured out an easier way to find out who voiced Pinky, or who voiced the Brain in, things. But anyway, what was I going to say? I don't even remember what I was going to say anymore. Oh, I know he did the voice of Unicron in the Transformers movie, and that was one of his last roles that he did. So, like I said, I didn't know, because keep in mind, a lot of the Warner Brothers stuff, they recorded it and then just completely, waited a couple years till it came out. So, it's not entirely unheard of, but like I said, I don't know. I really don't know. So that's why I'm like, oh, let me quick check it up. But, I should have just did this. I'm Googling Pinky and the Brain, and I'm going back to Wikipedia for when it loads here. Which it's taking an eternity. Oh, alright. Okay, not as big of an eternity as I thought. Okay, let's see here. Characters. I don't have to go too far. Premise, episodes. Okay, the Brain was voiced by Maurice Lamarche. Looks and sounds a lot like Orson Welles. Okay, there you go. So that's what threw me off. Okay, so it's basically your sound-alike. That sounds like Orson Welles. That's who did it. Okay, so I was wrong. Hey, I'll admit it, I'm wrong. I'll admit it. So, okay, cool. So I wonder if that's the person that did the voices of him in like other animated stuff, like The Critic and that. Oh well, but either way, that's cool to know that was a sound-alike. So basically, it's like a stunt double, like his exact opposite. Hey, look, I'm like Orson Welles, so I'm going to do the thing. He looks nothing like Orson Welles. What are you people smoking? I just clicked his thing on Wikipedia. He looks nothing like Orson Welles. What the hell? Looks and sounds like my ass. Sounds like maybe. Doesn't look like him. Okay, he did do, okay, so here's the thing, so I just pulled up his thing, Lamarche, I can't pronounce it, I know I'm screwing it up, began on Inspector Gadget, went on to Dennis the Menace, Popeye and Son, The Real Ghostbusters, where he played, Egon. He became regular and as Tiny Toon Adventures, G.I. Joe, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That was an old show. The animated series Tasmania, Where's Waldo, The Little Mermaid, Batman, the animated series, and Bonkers. Ooh, wow, Bonkers is a good show too. Okay, he was in Freakazoid, The Tick. He did The Critic. He was Big Bob Pataki and Hey Arnold. Okay, so yeah, he's got a decent amount of roles here. He mostly parodies Orson Welles. Let's see here. He's mostly done a lot of stuff for Warner Brothers Animation and DIC, or DiC. Sorry, DiC, not Dick. DiC Entertainment Cartoons. He reprised his role as Yosemite Sam, Cartoon Network's new series, The Looney Tunes Show, and a spin-off, New Looney Tunes. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, he was the voice of the Brain in Pinky and the Brain. He immediately thought of Orson Welles when he saw the picture. So, okay, I was wrong, but it's still kind of cool. See, he's the voice. Yeah, he uses accent to voice Father in Codename Kids Next Door. He once voiced 29 characters in one 30-minute episode of The Critic, and also parodied Orson Welles. Futurama. He voiced Zap Brannigan's. Oh wow, he was Kip Croker. He was Kip Croker in Oh wow. Wow. Okay, much of his best-known voice work is from Futurama, where he voiced Zap Brannigan's beleaguered assistant Kip Croker. Melodramatic soap acting unit Calculon, the Nero Esquite, Hedonism Bot, Morbo the news anchor, and Lur, ruler of the planet Omicron Persei 8. I actually like Futurama, so I kind of know those characters. Among numerous others, he's also done his Orson Welles impression on the show, winning a 2011 Outstanding Voice Award for it. Huh, that's cool. Neat. Okay, so, yeah. He basically impersonates Orson Welles. Okay, cool. Got it. At least now you know. But anyway, I got way off topic on that one. But anyway, like I said, new episodes for the Animaniacs are coming 2020 on Hulu. You can watch the whole back catalog now, or just find your favorite ones that they did and look them up on YouTube. In all honesty, most of the Animaniacs show is just literally clips and other things like Slappy and her nephew, the Pigeons, Buttons and Mindy, Rita, and occasionally had Pinky and the Brain until they got their own spin-off. So, yeah. In all honesty, you're just better off YouTubing most of the Animaniacs stuff. Take it in small doses if you never saw the show before. So like I said, if you want to watch the show, that's cool. I recommend it. Highly recommend it. If you want to watch it, though, start off small. Look up clips on YouTube to get your feet wet. Because you can get hammered with this hard if you just dive into it. You get hammered really hard. Just, take it really easy, go into it slowly, and just go that way. But either way, I'm glad it's coming back. Okay, so everybody remembers last week how I was talking about the Shaman King thing, right? Well, guess what it was? Here's the big announcement, folks. A new arc for the manga. That's it. That's seriously it. They're getting a new arc that's going to appear in Shonen Magazine Edge. That's it. That's it. End of discussion. That's the entire announcement. They teased this for an entire week. Popping stuff up online as like, you will get the official word on January 1st. And it's a new arc for the manga. Why not a new OVA? Why not a new, continuation of the anime series? It's a new arc for the manga. The manga ended in 2004, for crying out loud. It's still going? Various sequels and spin-offs have appeared. It was adapted into a 64-episode anime series that never got a proper ending to begin with. It ran for a year, by the way. 2001 to 2002. That was the entire lifespan of Shaman King's anime series. 1 freaking year. And the big announcement that you tease fans with, fans thinking, hey, it's going to be like a new, maybe they're rebooting it. Maybe it's going to be a really cool, continuation. An OVA, a standalone movie. I guarantee you no one was thinking manga. Seriously? Manga series? When you have a big announcement like this, you're teasing it, that does not bode to me, hey, we're coming out with a new arc for our manga. That ended in 2004, so it's one of the various sequels or spin-offs. It's not even the actual manga, it's just one of the spin-offs or the sequels. And in all honesty, that makes me go, why did you bother making an announcement over this? Oh, God's sake. That's what pisses me off with this. I mean, this, in all honesty, I was looking forward to this, and I find out on New Year's Day, hey, the announcement came out. That's all it is. You're joking. A new arc for the manga series. Seriously, an OVA. Was that so much to ask? An OVA? A standalone film? A new season? Hell, a reboot? A continuation? Something to give the damn thing closure? I mean, at least there are anime series that didn't technically end in the series. It ends with a movie. Eden of the East is one of those. It ends in two movies. 2 movies is what's used to end Eden of the East. It doesn't end completely in the series with the 12 or 13 episodes. It doesn't end there. It ends with 2 movies. Shaman King only lasted for a year. So much stuff got skipped over. So much stuff got missed. So many questions have been left unanswered, you jackasses. And this is how you thank us fans. By teasing a big announcement for spring of this year, and it's just a new arc for the manga. For those of you that don't know the story behind Shaman King, here it is. To most people, goes through the stuff of horror stories and nightmares. But Yo Asakura, a transfer student from Shinra Private Junior High, and his friend, they're his friends to him. Yo Asakura is a shaman, one of the gifted few who can speak to spirits by channeling ghosts into his body like a long-dead samurai, Amidamaru. He can allow them to possess him and use their powers, but a modern-day shaman faces great responsibilities because spirits and the people who work with them can be very dangerous indeed. Let's just glance over the whole freaking tournament. The fact that, in all honesty, I will sum up Shaman King right now. Here it is, in a nutshell. Shaman King is, boy has a connection to powers. Boy learns to control powers. Tournament comes to test powers. Evil villain comes to interrupt the tournament. They defeat the evil villain. Tournament gets canceled. Tournament starts up. Series ended before tournament ends. There you go. That is the entire series in a nutshell. Sure, you got backstories and other stuff, but for God's sake, you didn't even finish the shaman fight. The thing that the entire series was building for. The manga series built this. The anime series built it. The anime series went a little better than the manga did with it, and neither ended it. Now, I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if the manga ended. Technically, the manga could have, because the manga lasted for a good almost 10 years. It lasted 6 years. 4 more years, it would have hit tenure. 6 years the manga's going. The anime lasts for a year. The anime doesn't even get a proper ending. It gets a half-assed, screw you, middle finger to the fans, whereas the manga series it probably got a proper ending for all I know. Why couldn't we get that? Take what's left of the manga, adapt it into an OVA, a 3-episode OVA, or a freaking standalone movie, for God's sake, and give us fans some closure. Instead, it's a new arc. That's it. That's the entire announcement. That would be like me popping up something on YouTube going, stay tuned for a big announcement, and then just telling you that I got a hangnail. That's a big announcement. I will be making an announcement in the following days, and then 2 days later I come out with, here's my announcement, I got a hangnail. It defies the laws of physics to screw with somebody to the point that they just expect expect it to be good, but just completely fall flat on their face when it does. And that's what pisses me off with this. So, there you go. That was a big announcement. It's a freaking manga arc. That's coming out for spring of this year. Happy news for fans of Shaman King if you're even reading the manga, which at this point is just the sequel or a spin-off. That's honestly it at this point. In all honesty, this is one announcement that should have just never happened. It should have just been something they just quietly rolled out and been done with it. Which, in all honesty, that I would have appreciated more. Let's just have a nice quiet, let's not post something up online. Let's not make an entire website dedicated to no. Let's just say that, nothing's going to come up. And then when the manga chapter's about to hit, go, new manga chapter coming next week. That will give you sales. Announcing it ahead of time is just going to make people start speculating what it is, then get upset because it's not what they were thinking, and that's all she wrote. And just like that, there goes the neighborhood. And like I said, it annoys me and it bugs me, but there's nothing I can do about it. But that's what the big announcement was. The huge announcement that we were all worried about and wondering what it was going to be was nothing more than a freaking arc. An arc. That's all it is. An arc for the manga. There is no emoticon for what I am feeling. Rage doesn't even begin to cover it. But that was the big announcement. So 2018, it's already starting off on a bad note for that because, hey, good news. You're getting a new Shaman King arc in the manga. Alright. Well, for those of you that have ever enjoyed Anime Strike, the subscription streaming service, I got some bad news for you. Though it only launched nearly a year ago, the anime-heavy focused channel has sadly been closed by Amazon. Ah, yes, Amazon. It was almost a year ago when Amazon first launched Anime Strike, a streaming service that was available for $4.99 a month on top of an existing Amazon Prime membership, which is about $25 a month. The brief foray into the anime-focused Amazon channel has officially come to an end, though its curated catalog has been moved to Prime Video. Word of Anime Strike's closure comes from Lauren Orsini, Orsini's report over at Forbes blog, which includes confirmation from an Amazon spokesperson. According to the source, both Anime Strike and the Bollywood-centric sister channel Hera have both shuffled their content into Prime. Here's what they had to say about it, and I quote, "We have decided to move the curated catalog of Anime Strike and Hera into Prime Video so that more customers can enjoy this content as part of their Prime membership." No. Seriously. That is the entire quote. So, Amazon decides to shut down Anime Strike because Prime isn't selling enough videos. It's a streaming service that you gotta pay to be an Amazon Prime member to use, which to be an Amazon Prime member is $25 a month if memory serves. So, to watch Prime videos, you have to have a Prime account. To have a Prime account, you gotta pay $25 a month. You would have just been better off paying the extra $4.99 a month and watching it that way. Better yet, just watch it on freaking Crunchyroll for $15 a month. It's like $14.99 on Crunchyroll. What? Why even bother dealing with Amazon at that point? Oh, I'm going to watch it on Anime Strike. Wait a minute, Crunchyroll's cheaper. You don't have to have an Amazon Prime account. It's only $15 a month. Screw Amazon! Click. Hey, I can even watch it for free. Yeah, but you gotta wait like a week. Screw Amazon! That's all you have to do at this point. So, yeah. So shows like Rage of Bahamut, Virgin Soul no longer have strike banners, according to the author of according to Joseph Luster, who wrote the article that I'm reading off of. So you can go ahead and watch all these shows if you have a Prime account. This is, in all honesty, I'm going to say this. Amazon is trying its damnedest to become the one-stop gotta-shop place for crap. It used to be malls. It used to be everything in the world. But Amazon is trying their damnedest to become this one-stop gotta-stop place to be. They sell groceries. They sell clothing. They sell food. They sell electronics. You can buy everything on Amazon you could ever want. They sell DVDs, movies, electronics, what have you. They have a streaming service. You can sell on Amazon. They're basically their own close-knit community. Hell, I do eBay because I don't have a freaking credit card to do Amazon. The whole concept of Amazon is you have to have some type of plastic to do it. Seriously, that's the whole concept of this. Which bugs the hell out of me. So you're paying $25 a month to watch a whole bunch of stuff online. Because I'm a Prime member. That gets me in a lot of doors. Yeah, that's almost like that episode of South Park where everybody was a Yelp reviewer. Oh, I review restaurants for Yelp. Yeah, I'm a Yelper. I try to keep it on the down low so they don't kiss my ass too much. Yeah, in this case, Amazon, it's, I'm a Prime member. Slap down your fake card. What does that get me? Oh, well, I can get you some free shipping. You can watch a lot of sweet videos in our Prime Video section. What's the... In all honesty, a majority of this stuff you can easily find online for free. YouTube, or even some of the legitimate viewing sites. Crackle, Crunchyroll, Hulu, Tubi, just to name a few. Have stuff like this up that you can watch it. It's BS. A strong level of BS that they come up with this. You can watch all this stuff on Prime. What if you don't want to have Amazon Prime? Well, then you're screwed. They don't give you the option to watch stuff for free. No. You want to watch, you have to pay. It's almost like that lovely little cult that you want to join because everybody gets that really sweet jumpsuit. And you're like, I really want that. It's really shiny and sparkly and hey, it breathes really well. And you join and you find out they're all going to drink the Kool-Aid. So, on top of the anime strike, you also lost the Bollywood-centric sister channel, Hera, and they're both on Prime. So, in all honesty, why bother at this point? Like I said, if you wanted to watch half the stuff on that, I mean, you didn't have to pay the like $30 a month to watch it. You could have honestly just watched it on Crackle, on Crunchyroll, Funimation Now, VRV. There's hundreds of thousands of channels and sites that you can watch it. Legitimately even. You don't have to go to Kiss Anime or Kiss Asian. No, you can literally watch it on freaking legitimate sites. Crunchyroll, Hulu, Crackle, for God's sake. You can watch anime on Crackle and Tubi. I watched Bakuman subbed on Tubi. I remember that fondly. I went through an entire thing. I threw almost an entire season on Tubi in a day. Watching that, I'm like, this is pleasantly fun. Oh, God. It just hurts my head that Amazon... I mean, I understand that they wanted to try this to get their feet wet, thinking that, hey, we're Amazon, we're unstoppable, we can do anything we want. No, you're not unstoppable. You do have limitations as to what you can and can't do. You can't just go to, like the Writers Guild of America and say, we want to come up with a brand new TV show. It's going to be called Amazon. It's going to be about us. You have to make sure you don't badmouth us. We're Amazon. We're gods. We'll be back in a month. It better be ready. We better be getting a Golden Globe and an Oscar for it. They come back in a month and they have an animated series for them that's basically crappier than Breadwinners from Nickelodeon. There you go. I mean, they're not unstoppable. Amazon can eventually get taken down if something else comes in. Or, like with a lot of other businesses, I'll use this as an example. Let's go with Krispy Kreme. They're going to get too big too quick. They're going to grow out of their britches really fast. And they're going to crash and burn. It's just a matter of, do you want to sit around and wait for it to happen and just watch it? Or do you just want to sit back and let the fireworks? Or do you want to try to stop them? I don't honestly, I'd rather just sit back and watch the fireworks. Because something's going to happen at some point in time with this stuff down the road. But I don't mind stuff like this if they wanted to get into this to test the water to see if it would work or not. And they said it was a brief foray into the anime-focused Amazon channel. So, okay, they mainly made this channel for anime fans. But charging an extra $5 a month on top of a $25 Prime, membership. I'm pretty sure it's like $25 yet. I might be wrong. It might be more. So, charging an extra $5 on top of that. Anime only, which is fine if you're an otaku or you're a fan of anime, that's fine. But charging an extra $5 for it when you could easily, for half the price, mind you, watch it on Crunchyroll. It's like, gee, do I really want to have this Amazon account, this Amazon Prime account anymore? But I can, for an extra $5, I can watch all the anime I want for at least a year till they decide to get rid of it. But then again, if I get rid of this, for half the price of this, I can watch it on Crunchyroll. Decisions. But I don't know. But anyway, that's what happened. It's sad that that's what happened, but at least it got a shot. They realized, okay, it's not going to work out the way we want. We're just going to lump it all in together and be done with it. Because you probably weren't making enough on the extra $4.99 a month. $4.99! So, alright, so let's think about it. I'm going to do some quick Andrew math here in my head. So, even if, let's say, for example, this ran for, let's go with 10 months. As I said, nearly a year. Let's go with 10 months. Let's say you get at least 1,000 people. At $4.99, you're looking, let's just round it up to an even $5, make it a little easier here. So let's round it up to $5. That's $5,000 a month. Times 10 months, that's $50,000. At minimum. Now, I'm not saying that they got like 1,000 people. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just going with a quick little, let's, figure this out. Was this a good idea? So you're thinking that's how much they paid extra just for this. On top of a Prime membership. So Amazon basically was making money off of this. They can't say they didn't. So it's like, why throw everything into one thing? Well, either A, it's going to cost too much to keep it running, which I could see that. But then again, if you're making like X amount of money a month to have an all anime channel, not exactly a bad payoff on that. I mean, you figure even if the cost of it was like $1,000 and you're literally bringing in $50,000, every 10 months, 60 every year, you're coming out ahead $59,000 at best. Like at bare minimum, if we're just going with, my estimate, that's $59,000 you're up. That adds up. Of course, buying the rights to stuff would kill off some more money and all that other, fun red tape and everything else. But still, I just don't understand the concept of why they just lumped everything under the Prime account. I guess they figured, well, we'll just pull what everybody else does, just lump it all up under one and call it a day. I don't know. Maybe they know the writing's on the wall. Maybe they think, maybe we should just, get ready to accept defeat. I don't know. But anyway, that's what happened. If you were a fan of Anime Strike, it's gone, unfortunately. Bye-bye. Thanks, Amazon, for getting rid of something that probably could have been a lot better if you would have just given it a better chance. It's time, once again, folks, for weird things my mom says. That's right, my mom says some weird things from time to time, and I think it's time I share them with the world. Last week's, I think, was really fun. I don't know if sci-fi's on the internet, but this week's even better. And I'd like to thank my mom for being a real sport. She does listen to the podcast every single week. I'd like to thank her for being a good sport about this. You know I do this with love, Mom. But anyway, here we go. So, with every year, you have everybody that wants to buy calendars and stuff like that to keep track of everything. And we do the same thing. Recently, my mom bought a calendar before the end of last year, figuring, okay, this will work for the main calendar for everybody to read. Sadly, my grandfather wouldn't have been able to read it as the lettering was too small, the boxes were too small, and she didn't realize it until after we hung it up. I kind of thought it when I looked at it as I was hanging it, but I'm like, I think I might have said something, but she said, it'll be fine. He'll be able to read it. Well, she realized, okay, he's not going to be able to read that, so then we started looking for another calendar. So this past Tuesday, as we're going to the grocery store, it's cold, we're miserable. We go to the grocery store, and it's basically this lovely little, I like to call it screw you a stand thing here, but we're going to the grocery store, and we're talking about, well, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do for the rest of the day, and I'm like, I really didn't want to go anywhere. It was kind of cold. I was kind of, tired. I wanted to enjoy my, a little couple days off I had left from, the holiday. And it's like, she goes, well, we could always go and look for a calendar. And I'm like, okay. I said, yeah, we can do that today, I guess. I said, you want to do that today? She goes, yeah, we can do that. So we have to go to Walmart and look for a calendar. So then, as we're pulling into the store, she's driving because we flipped a coin, see who was going to go. I mean, it's not exactly how it happened, in case anybody out there is wondering why she's driving and I'm not. We flipped the coin for it. Though, technically, I asked, you want to drive? She said, yeah, and she did. But in case anybody asks, I flipped the coin. That's what we did. But anyway, we pull into the parking lot at the grocery store, and we're making the plan. She goes, well, I'm not going to park all the way up there. I don't want to walk. It's too cold. I don't really want to walk too far in the cold. It's too cold out. So then I make the comment, I said, well, then maybe we shouldn't go into Walmart today then if it's too cold, because every time we go to Walmart, we end up having to get a spot that's pretty far from the door, because all the ones right by the door that aren't handicapped, you know which ones those are. Those are the ones with the white, wheelchair. Are usually store employees or people that are just lazy and don't want to walk. So we end up having to take one that's at least like 15, 20, spaces away from the door. And I go, well, then maybe we shouldn't go into Walmart then today. I said, with it being really cold, I said, you don't want to walk down here. So this is what she says, and I still cannot stop laughing about this. She goes, and I quote, but Walmart's parking lot is warmer. True story. She looks right at me and goes that Walmart's parking lot is warmer than the grocery store parking lot we were currently at. Parking lot's wide open. I can easily freeze in that parking lot just as easily as I can at the grocery store one. And she's going, the Walmart parking lot is much warmer than it is here. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Trying to just scratch my head here thinking, what? What? But yeah, so apparently she can tell. So apparently to her, a parking lot that's sitting a little lower than the grocery store we're at height-wise, because you had to go down another hill to get to this Walmart that we go to, is warmer than the parking lot at the grocery store we go to. I thought it was weird when she said it, and I couldn't stop laughing because of it, but it's like, I just found it interesting. To be honest with you, I found it interesting. But it's just funny how she's looking at me like, it is! It's warmer! And I think to myself, no, it's not! It's a parking lot. You're still out in the open. And the wind's blowing. It doesn't matter where you are. It's still going to be cold. But that was the whole thing about it. She swears that it's warmer. I don't think it is, but there's the weird thing she said this week that got me laughing. But it's warmer. It's, in my opinion, it's not. In my opinion, it's colder. I don't know, but maybe maybe a relative that you have said something weird like that too. I know it's not as weird as last week's, but it's still up there. And again, I'd like to thank my mom for being such a great sport for another installment of Weird Things My Mom Says. Because let's face it, if she didn't say something weird, who wouldn't? Who would? Okay, so here's an interesting little tidbit for everybody. So, as many of you know, I'm kind of on the fence with my part-time job. Mostly for the fact that I'm getting up really early in the morning, which I don't mind. I'm used to that from doing it for an entire good chunk of last year, and I'm fine with that. But it's just like the environment's starting to become a little bit of a pain in the neck, in my opinion. I'm getting a little sick and tired of certain things that keep happening and all that other fun stuff. And I've been looking for another job. Which you figure, yeah, you do. It's, you do something for a little bit. If you don't think it's a good enough feel for you, you look for something else. You need to keep the job to pay the bills, but at the same time, you look for something else. You put your hat out there and you try to find something else that's a little more what you're looking for, a little more your speed. Well, I do have my resume out there for multiple things. I do have it out there for people to see. One of the places, though, I'm amazed they haven't gotten the hint yet. I did look into them. So I wasn't ignoring them by any means for certain reasons. I was ignoring them because the positions that they have available aren't something that I even think that I'm qualified for. For starters, if I don't think I'm qualified for it, then that tells you something. You can tell me, oh, I think you'd be great at doing this, you just put your mind to it. All that's going to tell me is that if I don't dot an I or cross a T the right way, my ass is fired. And that's the way I feel with this. But it's kind of interesting because I end up getting a phone call from the one, and they're talking to me. They're like, yeah, well, they left a message. And they're like, just want to talk to you about a position. If you give us a call back. But what got me, though, was the end of the message. The person goes, oh, a nice Christopher Cross reference on your voicemail greeting. Because for anybody that doesn't know, I got sick and tired of the traditional, please leave your name, number, message after the beep sort of crap. So I sing a little tune on my voicemail greeting. Now, unbeknownst to most people as to what it is, it's actually a ripoff of the George Costanza from Seinfeld when he ripped off the Greatest American Hero opening. If anybody's never seen the Seinfeld show, you don't know what I'm talking about, but George Costanza in the one episode ripped off the Greatest American Hero opening, the theme for it, by recording that as his answering machine message to anybody that calls him, saying, believe it or not, he's not home. So what I did is I did something like that with my voicemail greeting. This has actually gone over extremely well with multiple people that have called my phone. Some of them actually get a good kick out of this. listening to my voicemails, it's like, believe it or not, I'm not around. And that's what's really cool about it. They get a kick out of this. One relative didn't get a kick out of it, but to each their own. It's a acquired taste. I like it personally. I think it's funny. But anyway, I'm thinking to myself, who in the hell is Christopher Cross? I did not know who Christopher Cross was. I had no idea who Christopher Cross was. So I'm thinking about this and rummaging it in my head for a little bit. And I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to try to think about it anymore. So I get up and I go start working on lunch. And I look at my mom and I'm like, who's Christopher Cross? And she's like, I don't know. So then she Googles it. And here's where the funny part of this story comes in. This is an interesting story. So this happened earlier in the week, though. I didn't include this in my opening thing with what happened in my week, because it's just a standalone topic in its own way. So my mom Google searches Christopher Cross and comes up with this balding fat guy that plays the guitar. And she's looking at me going, Andrew, you should know who this is. I think you know this guy. And I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, I have no idea who this is. And she's like, well, these are the songs that he does. They're like Ride Like the Wind, Sailing, and I'm like, never heard of them. My mom literally starts losing it at this point. She's freaking out. You don't know who Christopher Cross is. I'm thinking to myself, you didn't either until a few minutes ago. Like in the back of my mind, I'm going, you didn't know who this guy was until a few minutes ago yourself. I honestly don't know who this is. You see a picture, it clicks in your mind. That's great. I see the picture, it's not clicking. No gears are turning and it's not going, Eureka, I know who this is. It's going, I have no idea who this is. She pulls up his actual website, which had an interview with him from Good Morning America. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, I still don't know who this is. And I'm smiling the whole time. She's thinking I'm screwing with her, and I'm honestly not screwing with her. I do not know who this guy is. And she's still freaking out. She's like, you don't know who Christopher Cross is. No, I don't know who Christopher Cross is. I have no idea who this guy is. So then she YouTubes some of his songs. She YouTubes Sailing and Ride Like the Wind, and she goes, I know. She goes, this song, like, not a clue. Like, it's Greek to me. Then she pulls up Ride Like the Wind, and she goes, I know you've heard this song. I know you've heard this song. And she's like all proud of it, like, you're going to know this person from this song. And the song plays, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I don't know who this, like, this is Greek to me. She starts losing it. I mean, she's really freaking out because I don't know who this guy is. I'm not. She swears I'm screwing with her, and I'm not screwing with her. I'm getting a kick out of the fact that she's freaking out. I hardly ever see my mom freak out like this. This is funny. She's sort of like that teenager at this point. That's the little kid that's trying to tell its older sibling, look, I found this really cool thing. You gotta see it. It's really, really cool. And I'm looking at this going, I don't know who it is, and nor do I care. And she's freaking out because I don't know who Christopher Cross is. And she's literally losing her mind that I do not know who this guy is. I do not know. I've never heard of him. I don't know who he is. It's like, now, okay, he's some musician that plays like soft rock. He's like a fat country singer that does rock and roll. Fine, I don't care. He's a balding fat guy that plays the guitar. There's 150 of them in Nashville, the last time I checked. I don't know who it is. And it's like, she's like, she's flipping out. She's freaking out because I don't know who this guy is. She swears I'm messing with her, and I'm not. But it's just funny how she's reacting to this. It's like, you don't know who this is. You don't know who this is. This is great. This is it. You never heard his songs before. I'm like, they could have played on an oldie station I might have listened to in the car. That doesn't mean that I know them. I was born at the end of the 80s. the literal tail end of the 80s. I was born in August of 89. There was literally only 4 months left of the 80s. I was little. Even if you played his music as I'm sleeping in a crib, I'm not going to remember it. But she is freaking out. Because I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who Christopher Cross is. I still don't know who Christopher Cross is, other than he's some musician. That's it. I don't know who he is. I don't care who he is. In all honesty, I'm going to quote Sherlock Holmes here. It does not matter to me or my work who Christopher Cross is, because I don't know. That's the whole premise of it. But I just enjoyed the fact that she's freaking out. She was like a 5-year-old trying to get their older sibling to listen to. Like, I found this really cool thing. You gotta see what I found. Almost like, almost like a little kid trying to get a hold of mommy and daddy. Like, you gotta come see, you gotta come see what I did. It's really cool. You gotta come see it now. Like, dragging them away. It's like, you gotta see this. And she's like persistent that I don't know who this is. She's like, but you know who this is. I know you've heard this song. I haven't heard the song. I don't know who the song. I don't know it. And she's losing it. She's freaking out because I don't know who this guy is. She's freaking out because I never heard any of his music, and she's losing what's left of her mind because of it. I'm like, I've never heard of him. I never heard of the guy. But I thought it was just a funny story to tell this week because it's hilarious. I don't see my mom like that often, where she's freaking out because I don't know who a musician from the freaking late 80s, early 90s is. He won an award. He beat out Billy Joel. I know who Billy Joel is. Billy Joel, the Piano Man. The whole bunch of songs. I know who Billy Joel is. I listen to Billy Joel music. I don't know who Christopher Cross is. I'm sorry. I don't. I still don't. Alright, everybody. Well, that's going to do it, though, this week for the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. Yep, that's right. The podcast is officially coming to an end this week. I know. Like all good things, I must go my merry way. I must recharge my batteries for next week as I search the internet for more and more information to bring to you, or just bring you more tales from my life. Whichever you prefer. Let me know in the comments section, by the way, because I can tell you some funny anecdotes of stuff that I do during the week, stuff that happens. Believe me, I got a lot of good jokes and stories. But anyway, if you have any topic ideas for the podcast, God knows I could use some from time to time, let me know. Send them to me either in my discussion page here on my YouTube channel, WebDesigner18's discussion page. Email them to me at acrpodcast@gmail.com. That's all lowercase, by the way, acrpodcast@gmail.com. Or tweet them to me at Otaku Roads on Twitter. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes. This has been the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. Goodbye, 2017. Welcome in 2018 with open arms. And I hope this one goes a lot better than last year, because last year didn't go about any better than 2016 did. So until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes saying see ya, and I will catch yous later.